Good morning and welcome to the Berry County Board of Commissioners meeting for June 23rd, 2026. If you would please stand for our invocation and pledge of allegiance. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for another beautiful day in Berry County. We ask your guidance over this board and all of our guests with us this morning as we go through our decisions and make the best decisions for the constituents we represent. In your name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. For purposes of attendance, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Bassett.
Here.
Carlton.
Here.
Campbell.
Here.
Getty.
Here.
Smelker.
Here.
Tunison.
Here.
Hatfield.
Here.
And Jackson.
Here. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Reports from state or county officials. Are there any state or county officials with us this morning that would like to give an update to the board?
Just gonna let you know, I was gonna have the screeners stall the fire department because we're just under code right now, so that's all I have for you.
Thank you. Additional reports from state or county officials.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Danielle Zollner. I'm the Executive Director for the Berry Conservation District, and I wanted to pop in during this time today to just give an update on what our yearly activities were. We do release our annual report when we do our annual meeting in February, but I also wanted to take the time to put together a nicely printed copy for you all, as well as include some of our upcoming events that we will be doing. I'll let that get around to everyone. So if you open it up, you'll see there's a few flyers here. The very first one on top is for for our Berry Outdoor Youth Day event that'll be coming up on Saturday, September 19th at Historic Charlton Park. We'll be running from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we are actively recruiting exhibitors as of yet. So we have some wonderful folks signed up already. Be Healthy Berry County. Eagle is going to be joining us this year, as well as Pierce Cedar Creek Institute. We will be providing a lot of hands-on activities for the kids during this, but it is free for our exhibitors to participate. So if you know anyone that is a part of a hunting community, fishing community, please bring them out. We try to lean on our local expertise to provide really great experiences for outdoor youth day and families in Berry County to engage children with the outdoors. And then the rest of the flyers are for some upcoming events. And if you look at them, we are going to be engaging in events, everything from regenerative agriculture all the way to invasive species management and beginning produce processing for new farmers and producers so that they can sell their goods out safely to the community. So as you can see, we do a wide variety of things. The recycling coordinator for the county is based in our office, as well as I help chair the Materials Management Planning Committee. And we have been working towards and are nearly completed with our plan. And have had some wonderful engagement from people on this commission. And we really appreciate the way people across Berry County step up to act on behalf of their communities. So thank you. We appreciate that. Now going to our annual report, one of the first things when you open that up, you'll see one of the things that has always interested me personally is how history informs and develops how we treat our land uses. And so getting into this position, I had not known a whole lot about conservation districts before taking this job. And it has been a wonderful opportunity for me to dive in to the connections between our federal, what was at the time the Soil Conservation Service, how that matriculated down to the state, and how local conservation districts really work within their communities to bring the resources from federal, state, and local organizations together to solve resource problems. So it was neat pulling this timeline together that I've included on the first page. We had our annual tree and seedling sale, and we sold over 7,000 native tree seedlings within this community to get planted this past year, and engaged with over 1,000 individuals in outreach and educational opportunities throughout this past year. And we also, one of the big things that we do in our office between the folks that are employed at the Conservation District as well as our partners at NRCS, so Natural Resource Conservation Service, we visited over 15,000 acres across this county to provide technical assistance to landowners about natural resource questions and issues that they were dealing with on their property. And this actually generated over $1.9 million in economic impact, as well as conservation investments across the county just this past year. One of the really neat things, as I was digging through old file folders and things like that, I found this pledge printed on its original paper from the 1940s. And I thought it was really neat to preserve this. And this is something that came out of Outdoor Life's Conservation Pledge Contest. And it was published in 1947 and then swiftly adopted across the entire county, across conservation districts and the Soil Conservation Service. So that really getting into that history that informs us. And if you go ahead and flip to the next page, and we have where we've highlighted our agricultural impacts, and that's primarily through the MDARD-funded Conservation Technical Assistance and Regenerative Agriculture Program. We visited several farms, over 50 site visits through that, and achieved over 100 environmental risk reductions through that work. So, and this is a free and voluntary program. It is non-regulatory, it's confidential, so folks can call our office and set up a visit with a MEP technician, and they are well-versed in the generally accepted agricultural management practices and work with those farmers to get them ready to potentially even apply for programs through USDA and NRCS to install conservation practices on their land. The other neat thing, and one of the flyers that we had today, is we also host a produce safety technician program, where this is also free, confidential resource for new producers largely, and they can receive a site visit and then guidance through ensuring that the products that they put out for the public to consume will be safe. And we are co-located with our USDA and RCS partners. And because of that co-location, we will be working with the Berry County Road Commission on the replacement and upgrading from an old culvert to an open span timber bridge on Wellman Road. And in fact, that particular bridge was featured on the front page of the Hastings Banner during one of our large storm events where it had washed out. So we're very excited to be partnering with the Road Commission on getting that bridge replaced this summer. So it's been a long time coming, but it's finally going to get on the ground this summer. Forest Health is something that we have worked with diligently across both Berry County and Southwest Michigan, and have created partnerships with universities to understand what's going on with spongy moth in our region. We were very lucky to have recruited Greg Dwyer in on our side, kind of, and he was able to advise us that very likely the natural controls of spongy moth were going to take the population down, and thankfully, he was absolutely right. We saw those disease numbers go really high when the population numbers of those spongy moths got high, and then they crashed immediately the following season. So that was really wonderful, and we're continuing that work, monitoring for the spongy moths across the sites that we have set up across the county. Invasive species is something else that the Conservation District has focused on and supported for, I believe we gained the SISMA back in 2018. And the Cooperative Invasive Species Management Area is something that actually services Berry, Calhoun, and Kalamazoo counties. So we take a more regional approach to invasive species management. And not only have they done a phenomenal job getting after some of these watch list species that are new to our area in Berry County, we are also trying to work with professionals as well as park systems and other municipalities to get at some of our more common invasive species like buckthorn and autumn olive and that sort of thing. We also do a lot of work supporting our recycling strategies here in town. One of the really neat things that we've been able to accomplish with the committee this past year is cooperating and setting up year-round opportunities for Berry County residents to be able to take their hazardous waste either to the Kalamazoo site or to the Kent County site. And those sites are available at least one day per week, mostly multiple days per week throughout the entire year. So folks don't have to wait for those events every year. Even though we know they're very valuable, they're utilized heavily, this gives folks, the opportunity to sort of if they don't want to hang on to those materials for a year or a half a year, they have some place that they can take them, which is really great. And we continue to work towards gaining support for increased services for recycling and hazardous waste management across the county. And then the other thing that we have been part of more recently is getting into watershed programs with some more targeted type of monitoring efforts that also incorporate engaging the community in those efforts. And that's our MyCore water sampling. And we do water sampling across the county at 6 different sites twice a year. And we have gauged several dozen volunteers into that opportunity. And it gives us an opportunity to educate folks on how the bugs in a stream can tell us a lot about the water quality that we're dealing with in each site, as well as get folks in our community excited and have them be ambassadors for protecting water quality across the county. And then one of the brand new things that we are very excited about, originally when we had written the grant over a year ago to Eagle for a non-point source pollution management grant, we had done that in cooperation with the Berry Eaton District Health Department. Well, by the time that we had were advised that we were given the opportunity to repair and replace septics across 4 high-risk watersheds in the county. We had quite a big turnover at the health district, and so we have worked to then put together a coalition of partners so that we can roll this program out in the best service possible to the community. And we are really focusing on being able to help folks with anywhere from a 50 to 100% reimbursement for repairing or replacing their septic systems if they are in the 100-year floodplain for Thornapple Lake, Mud Creek, High Bank Creek, and the Upper Thornapple River watershed. So it's a small grant relative to the amount of expense each of these septic systems are going to require. But we hope that this is just the beginning of putting together a program that will service both the people as well as the resource really well across the county. We're hoping to expand it out. We're going to start small, test it out. This will be our first pilot, and then we're hoping that with this coalition, we can build that type of program out to the entire county eventually. So, and then the last thing that I guess I should point out the financials. So we were able in fiscal year '25, we brought in a little over $585,000. This is almost exclusively grant dollars. Our county support, we are very grateful and thankful for it. We would not be able to do it without your support, but that accounts for about 8% of our operating budget for the entire year. It gives us that platform to be able to go out and get those other dollars and bring them into the county to support our residents. So thank you. We were able to carry over some of that income into this coming year for invasive species management. And then last but not least, we have coming up our deadline for what our MDARD partners call our Conservation Needs Survey. This is something that we have been collecting this survey data for almost a year now. And we do have lots of great responses, but I am always looking for more. And I don't intend to cut this survey off until the 30th of June so that I can then compile it and get it into our partners at the Department of Ag. So please, all of you here on the commission, as well as those listening here today in the audience, please, if you would just go to berrycd.org. Right there on our homepage, you'll see both the recycling needs survey as well as our conservation needs survey. And we are looking to hear from residents as well as staff that manage property here in Berry County to find out what our highest needs are and then start our planning process for the next 5 years. So thank you very much for your support this past year. I am looking forward to another year of exciting engagement with the community and, helping people protect natural resources in the county. So, thank you.
Questions from commissioners?
I just have a comment, Mr. Chair. So I once did a water sampling with Joanne Barnard.
Yeah.
And that was fascinating that we could skim the sand and the water and then look at the bugs, minnows, things and make a determination of water quality based on what species were present. So it was fascinating. If you ever get a chance to do it, it really is.
Please come out and volunteer for my corps. We'll be doing another sampling in the fall. So we'd love to have you out. It's amazing. So your biological organisms, depending on which ones are there, will often tell you a lot about the environment that is going on underneath their feet, so to speak. So it's pretty amazing. Great, thank
Commissioner
you.
Bassett?
Yes, I just wanted to make a comment. I get to sit on this board with Danielle. She brings a great deal of energy and enthusiasm. It's wonderful that y'all get to hear everything that the Conservation District does, because I think it's one of those silent entities out there that's doing a lot for us and made a lot of changes. The things with the materials management have been very good. So I want to thank you for your efforts.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it was good to hear the update on the former gypsy moths. My apologies to all the gypsies in Berry County, but and now we have lanternfly. Are we working?
Well, so as far as we know, there have not been any confirmed sightings in Berry County.
Okay,
But we have our eyes out, and our SISMA team actually has a trapping effort across their entire service area to see if we come up with anything. There have been some public reported sightings on this side of the state, but so far none of them have been borne out, and we're keeping our fingers crossed. Tree of Heaven is one of the preferred host species for the spotted lanternfly, and it's also invasive. So if you happen to have any of that on your property, please go ahead, feel free to cut it down.
Okay. Are they still getting grant dollars for Japanese knotweed? That
They
has
are,
had several
yes.
spots in Berry
Yep,
County.
that
so-
is one of the species that we are able to manage under our grant dollars.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Unfortunately, not buckthorn and autumn olive and things like that, but the Japanese knotweed, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Additional questions? Thank you, Danielle.
All right, thank you.
Additional reports from state or county officials? Round two.
No, kidding aside here, the body cam and the in-car camera project's moving right along fine. We got almost all the radios replaced in the cars, is that correct? We got a few more of the older ones we gotta get out and replace, but that says we cycle the cars in and out, so that's moving right along. Gonna give you a heads up, the sidearms we've been carrying since, I think 1991. Gotta understand, we did get some new ones in between, but it's a 40 caliber. And they're stopping to make the law enforcement rounds on that. So we're gonna have to go switch probably more than likely to the 9mm. So that'll be coming in the budget next year and maybe the year after. So just give you a heads up on that. Any questions for me? Right now is a good time to ask questions because I have the people handling this stuff right here with me. So I got Lieutenant Stevens.
Is that
and Lieutenant
arbitrary?
Evans. Pardon?
Are you guys making the decisions to switch to a higher caliber, or is that
No,
just
that's a
something that's
smaller
recommended?
caliber.
Oh, you're
You're going from a 40 to a
40
9.
to a 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not making the law enforcement rounds anymore for the 40. So that's kind of important.
Okay. No questions?
I had a question.
Yes.
Did you say all the body cams now are, all officers have a body cam?
All right, here you got. He's not assigned one yet. How many do we have assigned right now? We got 2 right now just for testing. And it's not just testing to see how they work as in the image, but it's also testing our policies and stuff like that. So they'll be out shortly.
Two of how many? Just so I
Oh, boy.
understand this.
30, how many you got, Pete, in your jail? Body cams? 16 and then 30, 31 for the law enforcement. Yeah. So we're getting there, but we had to, remember we had the mics that were the body cam and the microphone. Well, we had to exchange those to get the regular ones, so that took time. That was probably, I think it was more than a month it took to do that, so.
All right.
Anything else? They're here. Oh, I'm sorry.
So are all the policies in place then now?
We're still tweaking the policies, and what we're doing now is we're separating a policy for their operation of it and the policy for us for like when we get a FOIA request. So we have to separate those. So these guys don't need to know everything on a FOIA request, but they just need to know what to save. And then we have to have how many, like if you get just like an animal, a cow on the road or something like that, and you got your body cam on, we don't need to keep that for 75 years. You know, we can keep that. I think that's a 30-day, 30-day we can get rid of that video. So we don't we store it in a cloud. So we don't have that much storage to where you can hold all of that. So a lot of stuff we have, like if it's a murder case, geez, how long do we have to keep those, Julie?
Murder cases, I keep them forever.
Yeah, I don't see any,
Plus years.
yeah. So some of the amounts of time we have to have for certain cases, whether it be a murder or major assault or something like that, compared to, like I said, a cow in a roadway or some of the smaller complaints. We have to tweak all that yet, so.
Just a follow-up question. When do you expect to have it completely implemented, everybody, policies in place, and all the body cams worn?
Do you have a time frame yet? Both of you, both of you. All right,
The testing portion is continuing. Up there, the testing, I'm testing them for just battery swap outs, make sure it's gonna get them through an entire shift. placement, like that testing is what I've been looking at right now.
Yeah, placement on the body.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, there's quite a bit to it when you,
Mhm.
even after we get it moving. If you take a, 4 officers responding to a scene, there's 4 body cams. If we get a FOIA for all the body cam footage on that scene, it's 4 body cams plus the 2 in-car cameras or 4 in-car cameras.
Just so, like, I have an idea, are we talking like 30 days, 6 months, a year?
Oh, it's not gonna be a year or 6 months, no. We're hoping to get it done, gosh, we can probably get it done in what, 30 days, Kevin? Yeah. All right,
Good, thanks.
okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Limited public comment at this time. Any member of the public wishing to address the board may do so for up to 3 minutes for any item listed on our agenda.
Good morning. Rick Moore, still harbor master of the Podunk Lake Yacht Club. And I want to thank the County Road Commission for their potential to be resurfacing Lore's Landing Drive this year. I saw in the book last year that they were going to do it then. I'm so happy the sign is up in the street that they're going to do it now. Also, I want to thank the county commissioners for replacing the microphones. And I wish to remind Mr. Tunison, Mr. Campbell, and Miss Getty to please speak into the microphone or use your outdoor voice, because I'm wondering what the people on the internet can hear with this new equipment. And I hope they can hear most, if not all of it, because there's valuable information being spread here, and we all want to know about it. So once again, Rick Moore, not related to any other Moore, maybe Greg Moore, and, but thank you for your cooperation. Thank you.
Additional public comment?
Good morning. On your agenda, when you look at 20, in other business, it comes law enforcement facility discussion is coming after the second public comment. I guess I'm going to request that that goes in front of the second public comment. The jail has been quite a public interest, and after the discussion of the commissioners, the public should be able to comment on that. So if you could switch that, I'd appreciate it. This coming Saturday, June 27th, Titan Park, Hastings, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. American Pride celebrating 250 years of freedom, free for the community, hot dogs, chips. They're going to have different things out there like jump house, cornhole, and more. On this Thursday, the Berry County Republican Party will have their executive committee meeting. All you elected officials are members, and we've been coming up pretty short on executive committee elected officials there. I think we had 3 there at the last one, but it takes up quite a few. So I hope to see you there. Hope to see you out there on Saturday also. A lot of work needs to be done. So, and this is a good American Pride celebrating 250 years of freedom, a good outcome. So, but if you can switch that, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Additional public comment?
Good morning. Bill Mattson, City of Hastings. I'm a member of the Planning Commission for both the City of Hastings and the county. And I ask that you pass your resolution later in this meeting to impose the preemption of local zoning here in Berry County. We understand that the state is short about 119,000 homes, but taking local control away from county zoning units and putting it in the hands of Lansing is not the right way to do it. There's 3 key things that we need to consider, and it's really looking at mandates and not options. They're asking that a duplex be by right, not looking at any infrastructure, not looking at wells, septic, public water, public roads, anything that we do as a local zoning community. So that's a big thing. The infrastructure increase is unfunded. So if they put a lot of units throughout the county, unlimited ADUs is what they're asking for, that's a problem. Whether it's the road commission or the drain commissioner, it's going to be a big problem. And really, it shifts control away from the voters and from us that are kind of mandated to protect the property. Think about what they're asking for is kind of developed for the suburbs in southeast Michigan. And that's really where their mindset is. We have Gun Lake, we have all of our farmland, we have downtown Hastings. We know what's best for Berry County and the local units. So I would ask that you pass your resolution later in the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Additional public comment? Hearing none, approval of the written agenda. At this time, any member of the Board of Commissioners may ask for an item to be removed from the consent agenda and placed under items for consideration. Hearing no such request, does any commissioner wish to change the agenda additionally? And I'm okay with moving the law enforcement facility discussion to item E under items for consideration.
I would support that.
Okay. Any additional request? Hearing no such request, the agenda is approved as amended. Various correspondence, does any commissioner have correspondence they'd like to share with the board? Hearing none, consent agenda, Commissioner Hatfield.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of the June 9th, 2026 Board of Commissioners meeting minutes.
Support.
Was that Tunison?
John or me?
Okay. Motion by Hatfield, support by Smelker for all items listed on the consent agenda. Discussion is not allowed and a roll call vote is required. Those in favor vote aye, opposed vote nay. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Bassett,
Aye.
Carlton,
Aye.
Campbell,
Aye.
Getty,
Aye.
Smoker,
Aye.
Tunison,
Aye.
Hatfield,
Aye.
and Jackson.
Aye. The consent agenda is approved. This morning, we have our Employee Recognition Awards, which is one of our favorite meetings of the year when we get to meet several of our employees, but meet the backbone of our county and the people who are supporting our operations on a day-to-day basis. So let's do some of that this morning. First up, from the trial court is Mackenzie Teskey here.
They're in court today.
They are in court today. How about Rebecca? Okay.
Right behind you.
I was gonna say, I promise I'm not Rebecca.
Gonna say, there's a lot of things going on in the world today, but where did Rebecca go?
Right here.
So,
I'm
Oh.
trying to trick her.
there you go. They just got stuck together here, so. Rebecca, on behalf of a grateful county for 10 years of service, we appreciate you and everything you've done for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything you would like to add to that? We'd really appreciate that.
I would love to add something. Becca, it's been a pleasure working with you. You're very capable. Becca's very detail-oriented, and she's a caring and considerate person. She's always willing to jump in and help her coworkers. In fact, when she's away, her fellow staff members often compile what they call a Becca list. And that's a list of questions that they have for her when she returns. So Becca appears quiet, unassuming, and perhaps even shy. Don't let that fool you. She's one of the many pranksters in the family and probate court. My favorite prank was the time that she submitted a fake resignation letter. And somehow word of her resignation made it almost immediately to county administration. And it resulted in Becca being called down to Inez's office as Inez tried to figure out how not to get Becca to resign. So, she was very concerned about it. So Becca has spent the last 10 years with us, and I sincerely hope, Becca, that you stay with us for another 20 or 30. So thank you for your competent service and extreme dependability. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Congratulations. Is Michael here this morning? Shipper?
He's in court.
Also in court? Okay. And Vicky as well?
She's not here today.
She's not here today. And- and-
Message from Inez is they all appreciate the recognition.
Okay. Michael Shipper, 15 years. with the county, and Vicky Alspa, 35 years. So that is very impressive for their service, and we appreciate them and all they do for the county. From the county clerk's office, Kayla Fryan. Good morning. And we are celebrating you for your 5 years of service to Berry County. Thank you very much. We appreciate everything you do in the office. And words you would like to add, please?
Absolutely. So Kayla's been with our office 5 years. She is so invaluable to us. We appreciate her. She again is like Becca. When Kayla's gone, even I have a, hey, Kayla, here, what do we do list for her. And in my absence, we have every confidence that Kayla will keep our office running. And I can take a day off and not have phone calls, which I really appreciate. She brings a lot of background knowledge from the civil division of civil process serving. So when we got her, she had been there 10 years. And she also served as an election inspector in Ionia County. So for our office, that was very, very valuable for us to have someone who could train election inspectors that has had the boots on the ground in the community, and she works well with everybody, so we appreciate her.
So how many years of service do you have, you think, combined for all of those different tasks working in county governments here in 20-some years? Well,
Probably.
we appreciate you
Yeah,
planting
well,
roots in Berry County. Thank you
thank
very
you.
much. You're invaluable.
Thank
All
you.
right. From the prosecutor's office is Joshua Carter with us this morning. Good morning, Joshua.
Good morning.
Today, we are celebrating Joshua for his 10 years of service, so thank you. You still look like you just came out of college. We appreciate that youthful look, so thank you, Joshua. Thank you. And Julie?
Thank you. Yes, I would like to congratulate Josh and thank him so much for his years of service. Josh came to us a little over 10 years ago as he was a judicial clerk in Eaton County, in circuit court for Judge Cunningham, and since then has done nothing but rise to the ranks and do amazing work. He's very strong and he's very intelligent, very intellectual, which complements nicely with people like me that are more emotionally charged, and he seems to balance that out. I want to mention a couple of things. Josh can take a misdemeanor case, and we had one that was out at Gun Lake that turned into over a year. And he can take a case like that and just work on it like he would any kind of a felony. He does felony work now, and persevere and be committed to that case as if it was something bigger in penalty, but he knew how important it was from a statewide perspective. In addition to that, though, I want to commend Josh because as people probably know, in January of 25, Chris Ellsworth took a position in Kalamazoo, and he was my second chair on my murder cases. And Josh stepped right into that role and has been an amazing second chair. He just tried that with me in April. He complimented very well. I am not a very computer-oriented person, and he is extremely good at it, and was a great second chair. And we got a conviction on all counts. So I commend Josh for not only walking into that and having the courage and commitment to walk into that, but he did an excellent job. So I use those two examples because one of them is a misdemeanor that's the lower of the crime classes, and one of them is the highest crime class you can get. And he treats them both with the same commitment and dedication. So thank you, Josh. And just like other departments, we hope Josh stays for a long time.
Congratulations on 10 years. Yeah, and congratulations. We always like taking a good one from Eaton County, so
Yeah.
thank you for coming here. So, thanks, Josh. I don't think Sharon Dries is here this morning with us. She retired in May, but she had 5 years of service with us, and I think she had some other service as well, so we appreciate her. Sheriff's Department, Eliza Blundell. Is Eliza with us this morning?
She's probably sleeping right now.
Oh,
She's one of our night shift. She started out her career with the Middleville unit. And then we put her through the accident reconstruction. And I was just listening to the guys today talking about not wanting to go to accident reconstruction because of the math. So she's able to handle those numbers. And right now we also have her as a PR and kind of our event team. So
okay.
yeah.
For 5 years, she's doing well and fitting in fantastically, it sounds
Oh,
like.
yeah,
So
she has a pretty good sense of humor. So yeah, she's doing quite well with us.
you have to be. Okay, how about Jeffrey Cooper? Is Jeffrey with us this morning?
Yes, and He's a field training officer, and this field training officer, we're gonna call him on up and ask him how he is as a field training officer. I'm kidding. No, Jeff Cooper, he's been with us for 15 years. Right now, he's been running the 416 car, and that's the actual road patrol car that we have. That's a 416, it's a grant paid for through the state, and he's been doing that. It's primarily doing secondary roads, making sure keep traffic under control, whether it's speeding, drunk driving, plethora of things. He's also a field training officer who's training Miller right now, and he's also a defensive tactics instructor. And that's important. And if you, knock on wood, we haven't been nailed with any excessive force, it's because of people just like him. So with that, you've been a great asset to us, and hope you finish out your career here.
Yeah. Congratulations on 15 years, Jeffrey. Thank you for all you do for the county.
Thanks.
Cheryl Hartwell. Is Cheryl here this morning? Hiding back there. Another 15-year veteran. We appreciate you, Cheryl, for all you do. I know we get to talk to you quite a bit on all things county related with budgets and all kinds of things like that, but I know there's a lot more to what you do than that, so. You got nothing.
No, Cheryl filled in for, one of the key spots in the sheriff's office is the administrative assistant or the chief executive assistant. And she keeps me pointed in the right direction, going to this meeting, that meeting.
Tough job.
Sets up stuff.
Tough job.
Conferences. And she's also the one who does the beautiful graphs for you guys on our year-end reports. So she does all that for us. The payroll, and she also helps supervise the other clerks in the sheriff's office there, that, not your clerks, to, so they can perform their job even better. So she comes right from MCOLS, which is Michigan Coalition of Law Enforcement Standards State. So it was nice having her come on in right off the bat, because she knew everybody down there and made our life a lot easier here at Berry County Sheriff's Office. So
Awesome. Well, 15 years, Cheryl. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Timothy Stevens, 25 years of service. So wow, that is quite a career. We certainly appreciate all you do for Berry County, have been through and continue to do, and will continue to go through. We have plans for you, so, you know. I appreciate you working with us on the jail committee and helping us out and giving us some guidance on that as well. You've been a valuable member of that committee, so. But
are you done?
I am, so.
Obviously, the more years you get in, the more you get to do things. He's got quite a plethora of things he's done for us here. Was on the Southwest Enforcement team, the drug team. He was there and had a lot of, put away a lot of bad people there. He was on our dive team. He's a firearms instructor currently. He was a sergeant at one time up in the Middleville unit. And then he got promoted to lieutenant. And now he's also a field training officer supervisor. Anytime you see these big projects coming up, like the body cams and all that, or even the records management, he's our lead guy on it, dealing with the companies. And also straightening out an evidence room that you gotta understand that the standards back when that jail was built for evidence compared to the standards today, it's constant catch up. And he's the one taking charge on that. So extremely valuable for us there, and appreciate your leadership amongst the deputies in command.
Absolutely. Congratulations on 25 years, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Yeah. Christine Waldrop?
She's unavailable today.
Unavailable? Okay. Christine has 10 years of service, and it says she works with the jail, but it doesn't tell me specifically what she does.
She started as a full-time cook, and then we had our head cook retire, and now she's our head cook. And right now, that's what she's doing, isn't it? Feeding, preparing the meals for, gosh, I forgot her count. What's her count today? 50?
I'm sorry?
What's her count today? 52? 56, all right. So have to prepare those meals, 3 meals a day. And it could be anywhere between 40 to 100, but she's also in charge of making sure we have the food in the building that we can feed that many inmates. And she's also in charge of the other employees. So she has 1 other full-timer and 2 part-timers that she's a supervisor over, and she's doing great work for us.
Awesome. Thank you. We appreciate that. Commission on Aging, Tracy Beach now. Is Tracy here this morning? I didn't see her, but, okay, we will get that to her. Central Dispatch, Emily Hampton. Is Emily with us this morning? There we go. Hi, Katie. So Emily, congratulations on 5 years of service with the county. Welcome to Berry County. We appreciate you working with us, especially learning a very difficult and probably sometimes stressful job there. So thank you.
Yep, so Emily came to us in June of 2021. Prior to that, she did have about 6 months experience at a different agency. We kind of swiped her from that agency. Very fortunate to have Emily with us. In addition to her dispatch responsibilities, she is part of the public relations team as well as communications training officer. So thank you for your service.
Awesome. Congratulations on your 5 years of service.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Emily. And Jacob Logenbach. Also celebrating 5 years of service. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you.
Congratulations. Jake came to us actually in February of 2021, and throughout his career, he has served as a CTO, 800 megahertz train the trainer, as well as a state recognized CompT and part of our tactical dispatch team. So he has vast knowledge, Jake of all trades.
The Jake of all trades. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
Appreciate
We
it.
appreciate your service. Thank you. That concludes our presentations this morning, our employee awards, and it's great to see those faces. And if any commissioners have any comments or anything they'd like to add, feel free to do that now. Next up, Berry County Road Commission. Jake Welch is with us this morning and some of his crew.
Good morning. Thank you for having us. I really appreciate it. Adjust this a little bit since I'm taller than the rest of you guys. I asked my 14-year-old if he wanted to come today, and I said, "You want to come to the county board meeting?" And his response was, "It says board in the name." So he stayed home.
Sharp kid.
He's a sharp kid, yes. So I really appreciate y'all having us in. I'm here today to go through our annual report. I'll try to be relatively brief. If you have any questions, we're always available for additional questions in meetings, outside of meetings, wherever you guys want. We're happy to be available to you folks. Our mission statement: continue to efficiently provide safe conditions for public travel on Berry County roads and bridges. Our crew's knocking that out of the park right now, so I'll get into that a little bit. Thank you very much. Dave Solms, Jim James, and Jamie Knight are our 3 commissioners that you all have appointed. They do a heck of a job for us. They have no day-to-day role, as you all know. They hire me, which obviously I'm really happy they did that, as well as set policy and vision for the organization. You couldn't have provided us with 3 community members that cared more, took more pride in what they did, and were great sounding boards for me and for our organization. So thank you very much for providing us with them. One employee I'd like to point out, Scott Bond has been our superintendent for 27 years. He's going to retire in September of this year. His replacement's been hired, but Scott's been a heck of an asset to this organization, from switching from kind of the good old boy road commission to more of a lean, mean service machine. Scott was one of the main people that led that charge and has done a phenomenal job. So thanks to him. If you continue to the next page for the employee tree, I'd like to point out in particular, our mechanics seem to not get a whole lot of love. When our guys are out snow plowing, everybody loves that we're out plowing. I think a lot of people don't necessarily take into account that there's guys laying on the ground underneath those trucks that are dripping snow and ice off of them, trying to fix them and get them back on the road. The mechanics do a heck of a job, as well as all the drivers that are out on the road all the time. When you're not wanting to be out there, that's when we're needed the most. And our crews have really done a heck of a job doing that. Apparently, we have 500-year storms approximately every other week right now. So they've been doing a lot of that too. So I'll move on to page number 8. There has been a new road funding package that came out in late 2025. I came and talked to you guys a couple months ago about bonding. We did end up bonding for $6.2 million. Our prices have been coming in very well, so our hunch that the legislature kind of said, hey, this new money's coming right now, get ready, get ready, get ready. Oh, hold on, wait a year. All of those, that vacuum all those projects that were moved from 26 to 27 left in the industry is providing us with incredibly good pricing for the bridges and the road work that we're doing this year. If you haven't been redirected by a flagger in the county, we'll get to you, don't worry. You're not off the list. That will happen. One thing I would say, I think 4 times in the last 3 weeks, we've had people threaten with bodily harm our flaggers. If you could just be aware of that, if you run into a flagger, most of those are college kids that come and work for the summer for the road commission. They don't really deserve that. We prep them for that. We train them for that. They know what to do. They know how to handle it. But the net of it is occasionally a kind word to those people would go a long way. So I'd ask for your help on that. But we are making it around the county. We started in the northeast quadrant. We're working counterclockwise around the county. Currently, we're in the northwest. So we're coming your way if we're not there already. I will move on to page number 12. Actually, page number 13. So one thing I like to point out as far as revenues and expenses, we try to keep our administrative costs as low as possible. We're under 6% again for a long time. I don't do anything on the road. I haven't plowed a road ever. I mean, I don't do anything that services you guys. It's really, that money needs to be going on the roads, in the trucks, plowing the roads, patching the roads, constructing roads, rebuilding roads. And we dedicate as much of our funding as we possibly can to making that happen, not talking about making that happen. So I'd like to point out that our administrative costs continue to stay low. If you flip to the next page, the average motorist, one thing I like to point out, the average motorist in Michigan pays about $450 per year in state gas taxes. Our family's cell phone bill was more than that last month. Even with the new funding coming in, roads are an asset to our community and to our state that we can't do without. It is the connective tissue between our entire society. And for a long time, we have underinvested in those assets. So I'm glad they're doing some stuff. I'm glad they're working in the right direction, but the cost per person for 24/7, 365-day-a-year access is pretty phenomenal. So, moving on to page 17, we receive the vast majority of our funding through the Michigan Transportation Fund, which is your vehicle registration fees and your gas taxes. The next largest contribution to our road commission are our township partners. Our townships have been phenomenal partners. Back in the 1930s, the McNitt Act went into effect. That transitioned over a 5-year period, 20% of the township road system over to road commissions. And in all reality, the townships really never left. They continue to fund roads. We have phenomenal partners in our towns, in our county, with all of our townships. They help with a ton of road work, specifically with dust control, local road pavement markings, gravel placement, and paved road preventative maintenance. We cost share on those items with our townships, and they do a phenomenal job leveraging their budgets to gain more of ours to their communities. And, for that, we thank them immensely, because we wouldn't be able to do what we do without them. So I'll move on to page 20 and 21. I know you guys have probably heard this before, but the Berry County Road Commission does a little bit of unique work in that gravel road years, we focus largely on in odd numbered years, and we focus on our paved road system in even numbered years. So this is 2026. Obviously, we're in a large paved road year. Last year, which this annual report's our 25 annual report, was largely focused on gravel roads. So we did place about 70,000 yards of gravel around the county last year on about 475 miles of gravel road that we have in Berry County. The guys did it incredibly well, incredibly efficiently. We still do day-to-day maintenance no matter the year. So we average about $1 to $1.5 million spent on scraping and maintaining gravel roads each year, which is about 10 to 15% of our annual budget goes to scraping and maintaining gravel roads. So we do have a huge year coming this year. On the right side of page 21, it kind of touches on some of the larger projects that we have going on this year, but 230 miles of chip seal. I've been here for 13 years. I think the closest we've been to that was 205 back in 2016. It's safe to say this is the biggest construction year the Berry County Road Commission's ever had.
Wow.
I've been here 13 years. We've done 5 bridges. We're doing 5 bridges this year. So, there's been a lot of work that's gone into executing this year, and I can tell you, partway through, the crews are killing it and they're getting it done. So, if we move on to page 22, the winter maintenance costs in the bottom left-hand corner, we did have a significantly larger year this past year. So, I would say, and I point this out, I try to point this out each year, snowfall totals don't necessarily equate directly to costs. Well, in this chart, they do slightly. In all reality, when we have kind of milder winters, we end up getting a lot of mixed precipitation, which then we end up having to go back out more frequently than you get 6 inches of snow on Monday, you go plow it Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, you cut trees, you get more snow on Friday, you go plow, or you get freezing drizzle every day all week long. So those costs are not necessarily completely tied to the amount of snow we get annually, but it is pretty well tied to that as well. So if we jump to page 25, we have a non-motorized expense plan as required by Public Act 51. In 2025, we did complete a widening and overlay project on Irving and McCann Road, which was one of the target projects that the Thornapple Trails Group had pointed out to, or the Berry County Trails Master Plan had pointed out that they were wanting widened shoulders for better access to the trail crossings on public roads. So we had committed when we met with them a few years ago that we would work to complete those projects as those locations came up for paving, and we were able to widen those shoulders out and hopefully provide safer and more equitable access to the trail system in Berry County, at least in that area. And we'll continue to do that as future projects come about. So flipping to page 28, a small chance to kind of blow the road commission horn here. For the 4th year in a row, we have the lowest percentage of poorly rated roads of any county in the state. So if you and I were driving on a good road or a fair road, I've been certified for 13 years. I've rated thousands and thousands of miles of paved road. If you and I were in a vehicle together and drove from a good road to a fair road, you nor I would know the difference. Now, when we drive on a poor road, we'll probably both see the difference. So in my opinion, your percentage of poorly rated roads is the best metric that the state keeps for considering having the best rated road system in the state. So for the 4th year in a row, the Berry County Road Commission has the best rated paved road system in the state of Michigan. So pretty awesome stuff there. We're currently at 1.8% poor. If you look at those pie charts down in the bottom left-hand corner of page 28, our local road system isn't quite as good, but we're at 19% poor. If you go down to the bottom line, statewide federal roads are 31% poor. Statewide county roads of any kind are 34% poor. So even our local system is beating the metrics for everyone's primary system in the county, in the state. So pretty awesome stuff there. We did receive an award for from the Transportation Asset Management Council in 2025 for a culvert data collection and asset management project that we undertook last year. Adam Nealon has been a 20-year veteran employee of the Road Commission, took on an additional role of going around and cataloging all of our culverts under the road. You may not think that's that big of a deal, but when you have to climb down to each one of them, The number will probably be somewhat surprising. There's 3,500 culverts under the roads in Berry County. So he climbed down into every single one of those, inspected it, measured it, figured out what needed to be done, if anything needed to be done, GPS located it, so we knew where all of those assets are. And now we are able to get onto a cycle of replacement that's more proactive than reactionary, which is fantastic. So we did receive award recognition through TAMC for that. Couple other great things that have been going on. We did receive a one-time funding in the state budget this year, thanks to Representative Gina Johnson. She represents the north or the east part of the county. We're replacing the Brown Road Bridge that's coming out of the south end of Jordan Lake this year, using state budget funds that she helped us secure. She actually approached us and said, hey, are there any pinch projects that you guys can't seem to get a handle on or get funding for? We had applied for 4 different grants trying to get that project funded, and we couldn't. And she came in and was able to get it funded, and that actually bid yesterday, so that'll be happening this fall. So, another great one that we have going on right now, Danielle mentioned, we've been working with the Conservation District for the better part of my career, it feels like, to get this project done, and it's happening this year. So pretty awesome stuff. They have worked incredibly hard. We have worked incredibly hard. We've gone through numerous personnel changes. We've gone through government shutdowns. We've gone through funding shutdowns. We've gone through environmental concerns. The bridge is coming this year, and I'm so happy to have that thing done. So pretty awesome that we get to work with great partners in the community. Oh, and thank you, Danielle, for doing that. Last page, on page 31, we do participate in Smart 911. If you sign up for that, we try to keep that as minimal as possible. I know I don't want my phone blowing up all the time, so we do not release daily chip seal schedules or daily paving schedules, but when we try to post some of our larger stuff that's going to be a little bit more longer term. So we'll post a bridge closing or something of that nature. We do post on Facebook and Instagram virtually daily with where we're at and where we're working in the county. So feel free to follow us on those. And aside from that, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Questions from commissioners? Commissioner Bassett?
Every opportunity I have to work with this gentleman is always very respectful, professional. I admire you for what you do, both with my local neighbors as well as what I ask you for at the county. So I really appreciate your patience and your leadership.
That feeling's mutual. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Carlton?
Thank you. Congratulations once again on being the best roads in the state.
Keep trying it.
Could you give me a little more detail, because it's in my district and I'm getting questions on the Barger Road project?
Yep.
What it is now and what it's going to become and how long it's going to take?
So currently it's a multi-barrel culvert crossing. So there's two or three culverts in there right now. Those are being removed, and then a bridge will be installed, a clear span bridge will be installed. And then that entire road, we've kind of been waiting to reconstruct that road for the bridge to get done, because we don't want to be the idiot road commission that paves the road and then does a big project on it 2 years later. And we just didn't know when we were going to be able to fund the Barger Road Bridge. So in conjunction with the bridge being replaced, we're going to crush and shape and repave Barger Road. Our hope is that that is done by the end of September. It wouldn't surprise me if it leaked a little later than that. It's a decent sized project, and but definitely will be done this year. The paving will be done this year. If we end up having to pave it late enough where we can't seal it this year, we would seal it next year. So, but it should all be done this fall for sure.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Commissioner Getty?
Boy, I echo everything that Commissioner Bassett said about a relationship with the road commission, and you specifically, Jake. Every time I reach out to you, you're so responsive and open-minded in finding solutions to the issues that we face. With the new road funding, I'm always asked at the township level and by residents, because they're surprised that the road commission isn't able to maintain local neighborhood roads.
Yeah.
And that we're not able to accept public roads and new developments.
Yep.
With the new funding, is that going to change that policy?
As of current, no. We met with all of our townships every January, but this past January was obviously a very impactful meeting where we met with them and talked about how we intend to utilize this new road funding moving forward. For the next 3 to 5 year period, we're going to focus largely on our bridge system, which are assets that we get road funding by the mile of road. So if you imagine a 50-foot section of road is a bridge, well, that 50-foot costs $2.5 million. Well, the rest of the road could cost $500,000 to redo the whole darn thing, and that one 50-foot section costs $2.5 million. So the funding sources for bridges are very minimized, and we have a number of them that don't qualify for local bridge funding because of their size. But when Eagle gives us the requirement of what it's going to need to be replaced with, it's a much larger structure. A lot of our structures around the county are undersized. I should rephrase that. A lot of our structures around the state are undersized. And when we go to replace those, Eagle has basically unbridled authority to require what we put in its place. And so a lot of these are going from, we have one on Sager Road this year that's a 6-foot culvert. It's going to be a 24-foot bridge. Well, a 6-foot culvert costs $80,000. 24-foot bridge is $1 million project. So we're going to focus largely for a 5-year period approximately on those bridge assets. And then at that point, we're going to start looking back at what are our cost shares with our townships? How do we work through road funding with our townships? Now, our townships and the road commission have done a really good job, in my opinion, of preventative maintenance on those subdivisions in particular. If you look at a lot of the lifespans of those, we're getting 60, 70, 80 years out of a lot of the pavement cycles. And that is significantly longer than common industry standard would hold. 25 to 40 years, you're doing really well on a paved section. And we're getting close to double that in many areas because of the preventative maintenance that's getting completed. But the way we're funded for local roads, period, and it's not just subdivisions, it's locals out and around the county as well. You'll notice many of those are gravels. The majority of our local system is gravel. We're funded to provide a gravel road. So for a local road to be paved, really that funding needs to come from somewhere outside of the road commission because we're funded for day-to-day maintenance and basically of a gravel road. So I don't know that you'll see that change imminently. The other problem that we're running into a little bit with the new funding is none of it is constitutionally protected. So they can redirect the marijuana tax that came in as well as the corporate income tax. Those can be redirected by a simple vote of the legislature, not of the people. Gas taxes and vehicle registration fees are constitutionally protected where we would have to vote to redirect those. So when you're planning out 3, 4, 5 years for projects, counting on guaranteed funding is a big deal. A lot of the environmental stuff we have to do, bridge funding, for example, comes out 5 years in advance because it takes that long to get through the rigmarole. So I don't see it changing immediately, but certainly it's something we continue to consider because there are some things that we feel we do very efficiently. If we could go and plow and patch and day-to-day maintenance these subdivisions, but when it came time to reconstruct it, we didn't have to piss everybody off and tell them they got to pay for it. I can't speak for them, but I know what my recommendation would be, but that's not legally allowable right now. So.
No, I
does that
appreciate
answer?
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I
no problem.
appreciate the
Yeah,
explanation.
no problem.
Commissioner Smelker?
Jake's very good to work with. Whenever you need to talk to him, he's willing to sit down and talk to you. And you, from what I've seen, you get the honest truth, whether you want to hear it or not.
It's my
Thank you,
best and
Jake.
worst quality.
We have found that. Commissioner Hatfield?
I can only echo what the others have said. I always enjoy having the opportunity to pick up the phone and give Jake a call because I know I'm going to get the answers that I need. May not always want, but I get what I need. And it's a pleasure working with you, Jake. So
Thank you.
keep it up.
Appreciate that.
Commissioner Campbell?
Well, you've all stole it all, so. Jake, I had an opportunity to talk to Jake just a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Shocked me originally because you got right back to me. It was very nice. He educated me in the question I had, and I always say as a commissioner, it's not what you know, but who you know. And we have the best county groups, administrations that you could ever ask for. The answer is always there if you ask the question. So I appreciate you, Jake.
Thank you.
Commissioner Tunison.
Well, I had an opportunity, John and I did recently, to sit down with Jake, and he helped us out with a situation we were dealing with. But he's not afraid to tell you you're barking up the wrong tree. So, I mean,
There's a lot of trees out there in my defense.
Yeah.
It's a lot of them.
yeah, but he comes up with a common sense solution, right? I mean, and that's what the man really has got, a lot of common sense. He also thinks about his employees. You know, he's always thinking about, the dad that wants to go watch his kid play baseball at 2:00 in the afternoon. He looks out for that, right? And that's appreciated by the employees, right? As an employer, you got to do that, right? You got to know that your employees know that you are looking out for them. But they got a really good board too. The board out there they're just like Jake. They're common sense people, and they're good listeners. And I think that's a great attribute that y'all have out there. So you got some really good leadership out there. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Awesome. Jake, are you still working on the tree program, the tree clearing program in the right of way?
Yeah, so we have completed the first round. The contract that started in 2019 is completed. We're basically now going back with our haircut program is what we're calling it. So prior to that getting out further than to where it's a massive multi-million-dollar contract, we're going back through with a much smoother, cleaner, quicker, cheaper, and cutting that back to that original spec. That's on a 3-year cycle. So when your township was originally cut, 3 years later, it'll get a haircut. 3 years after that, it'll get a haircut. Our intention is to not have to ever reinvest that big dollar figure into reclaiming that 10-foot wide from the edge of the road and 25-foot high tunnel, which seems like a lot. We've actually had township officials say, well, I don't want you cutting my road because people move here for the tunnel. And we said, well, what road are you on? And he told us, and we said, well, we already cut that one. He goes, oh, all right. So it's been a very good program. It's been received very well by the residents, but we are through that initial phase, and now we're into more of a long-term maintenance. We are looking at what would the next step be for another improvement. The problem is you really need to be able to maintain it in perpetuity, or there's really no sense in going and spending a bunch of money to let something go back to the way it was. So we are looking into other options of what would be the next item in that progression, but we're not there yet, quite yet. So.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you, the team, and everything you guys do. The 1.8% is fantastic, and as we drive around the county several times a week, we are proud of our roads, and when we leave the Berry County line, we can tell that we have left. So
Not
they
the
are
first
not
time
all
I've
that
heard
good,
that. Thank you.
but I think it was my wife made the comment that, boy, it's a beautiful city, but the roads suck. And if your roads are an indication of how you invest in your city or your county, whatever the case is, you're doing a fantastic job. So we appreciate your leadership and the team that you guys have there making this all happen. So keep
Thank
up the
you.
good work.
I have additional copies of our annual report. If anybody would like them, I'll leave them on the table there. And I really appreciate all the kind comments. I'll try to figure out how to fit my head out the door. But I'm really proud to be part of this. It really, I'm not a big government guy. I didn't think I'd be here this long. And when I got here, I realized they were running it the way that I thought our local government should. And to be able to play a role in that and continue that, that's why I'm still here. So thank you.
Awesome.
Have a great day.
Thank you. It's 10:14. The board's going to take a 5 to 7 minute recess. We'll come back in session then.
How long after? Oh.
Maybe some practice in
Yes. Do they need to be cut?
Yes.
They're still on.
Public hearings, we have none this morning. Items for consideration. The chair would entertain a motion for approval of claims in the amount of $50,813.75.
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Colton, support by Tunison for approval of claims in the amount of $50,813.75. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Carlton,
Aye.
Campbell,
Aye.
Getty,
Aye.
Smelker,
Aye.
Tunison,
Aye.
Bassett is absent.
Got kidnapped. She'll be back in a second.
Well, okay. Hatfield.
Aye.
And Jackson.
Aye. The motion is approved. Next up, we have from the prosecutor's office, Julie Nakfor Pratt with a request.
Hello.
Hey there.
Good morning. How's everybody?
Awesome,
Sorry,
thank
the-
you.
That's great and sunny, but wow.
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So, good morning. I am here today because we, as everybody may have heard, we have lost one of our most senior prosecutors. Jessica Payne took a position with the Public Defender's Office, and she started roughly over a week ago there. And by a stroke of luck, we got an application from a very qualified person who is from a different county. But there's a couple of differences in the way they, in his experience level in their county versus our county. So I am wanting to hire this person at as a classification 14, which would be an assistant prosecutor 2, so a senior assistant prosecutor at the 4-year level. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about why. So this person comes to us with 14 years total as an attorney. And I highlighted a couple things on his resume because in Berry County, a senior assistant prosecutor should be around 3 to 5 years of experience as an assistant prosecutor or something equivalent to an assistant prosecutor. So when I look at this person's resume, he has done briefs, motions, legal research and writing. I was told by one of his references that he did landlord-tenant. He did ordinance things. He has a criminal justice background. His degree was in criminal justice before he went to law school. He's done discovery. Discovery is the evidence that we give to another attorney. He's prepared discovery, which is one of the biggest things that we do. These are all things he's been doing over the last several years before he ever became an assistant prosecutor, an assistant prosecutor. In the county that he works in, he already does work as an assistant prosecutor. So for 2 years, he's been there. He's tried cases in both district and circuit court. So in our county, to be a senior assistant, you have to do circuit court felony work. And he's already done all of that. He's actually done cases that are very high level, such as criminal sexual conduct. I was asked recently, has he ever done a murder? And I want to clarify something on that. My chief assistant's the finest attorney, truly one of the finest attorneys I have ever known. And he doesn't do murders because he does family court, he does felony work, he does other capital cases. But some people do murder cases and some don't. So that means nothing to me that he's never done a murder. Josh Carter's been here 10 years and he just second chaired his first murder. So I don't want to get all caught up on what a person's done versus not done. Before I came here, I didn't do murders. I second chaired them, but I did criminal sexual conduct cases. And so I kind of explained to people with a criminal sexual conduct, a victim is alive to tell you what happened to him. They're very complicated cases. And so this person, the reason I'm asking for this is this person doesn't come to us with 2 years of experience. He comes to us with 14 total. 12 of those are in addition to what he's already doing in Allegan County. The other thing I want to explain is that for pay, when you get somebody that has these qualities, this is a stroke of luck for Berry County that I got an application from this person. He lives closer to Berry County. So that's a high motivation for him to want to do this for his family. And so what's also important with regard to the pay is he's making $94,000 in Allegan. And here, he would be taking a pay cut if I brought him in at the 3-year. He's in his 3rd year as a prosecutor right now. The next step would be the 4-year, so that's 96,800, I believe. So it's just shy of $3,000 difference. To me, that seems to be a small price for the county to pay to get somebody who could literally walk into Jessica Payne's position that she just vacated. The other thing I just want to bring to your attention is there was a good question asked to me about whether or not I have a formula or anything that I go by when I decide that I would want to offer this to somebody who's got at a 4-year level versus a 2-year level, or what do I use for that? It's different when you're in our type of work. So as a prosecutor, I come to you right now with over 38 years of experience. I'm in my 39th year as an attorney, and I've been either a prosecutor or a defense attorney 37 of those years. So what I do is I take the experience of, can this person walk in and do this job? I'm doing it right now. I'm filling in for her caseload right now. In addition to my duties as a prosecutor, I do the homicides right now in this county, and I have done criminal sexual conduct cases. But I generally do my administrative duties. I've had 4 FOIAs just in the last few weeks. FOIA requests I'm doing the budget and so forth. I'm okay with filling in with that position, but it's difficult. And so one of the things that Berry County really recognizes, and I think is really careful about and caring about all departments, is we don't want our people to burn out. And if I have somebody right now, I'm not going to tell you that I'm burning out, but it's been very difficult to try and do all my administrative duties and take somebody's circuit court caseload. I'll happily do it. And I am fortunate to come to that stage in my career where I all of a sudden I've got this caseload that I haven't had in all these years, but I come to that caseload with 38 years of experience. So I'm grateful for that. But on the other hand, I can't keep doing it. It's hard on our office. This has been hard on us right now. And when I say a stroke of luck, I've been told repeatedly from various people, you are never going to find another prosecutor. There's a shortage of them around the state. Berry County this. No, I've been lucky. Our office has a good reputation. People want to work for us. People hear good things about us, and they want to be with us. And this person is a highly qualified person. He's tried more cases in the last 2 years than I have. And he's tried both misdemeanor and felony. So I also want to mention that I talked to a judge that he is assigned to, and he came highly recommended. He came highly recommended from his previous employers. And then I have a little strategy when I'm hiring people that I call people that were not on their list of references, because I want to know what other people think. And that person highly recommended this person. So even though it's a different pay scale and it sounds like it's a higher year mark, that really in reality, I not only looked at the fact that he's had this many years total, but what did he do during those years? And essentially, this person's done exactly what he would be doing in the prosecutor's office as far as briefs, discovery, legal research and writing. And then he's also gained a lot of experience in just over 2 years in another county, elevated to the circuit court level. So my bottom line is Berry County would be fortunate to have a person that can walk into somebody's position that just vacated their position. My plan would be that if I can bring him on, I would stick with it for a while in circuit court so he can learn our court system, because the rules of law are the same wherever you go in Michigan, but each court system has its own set of rules with regard to, when do you ask the judge for this, or when do you meet with this person, or what. He needs to learn all that, and that's fine. I have no doubt in my mind he can do that, but I would stay on with him in circuit court for that. So although I don't have a written formula, I rely heavily on my training, my experience, my overall experience as a prosecutor. And for those of you that don't know, out of those years as an attorney and as a public servant, 37 of those 38 years are as a public servant in one form or another for me. And most of those, all but 4 of them, have been a prosecutor. So I rely heavily on my training and experience and knowledge and even my gut to tell me when I think a person is worthy of this. So that's why I want to offer this to him. I think if we want good quality, we have to pay for it. And I don't think $2,800, which I calculated to be roughly $2,800 difference, is a lot. I just don't think it is in the grand scheme of things.
Okay. Questions from commissioners?
Yeah. So that would be the difference between what you were paying the gal that vacated the job?
No.
Is that what you're trying to tell us?
No, right now he makes, I think he told me roughly 94,000. This
remember you
position
saying.
pays 96,800. And that would have been what she was making. So there's no greater difference than what you were already paying.
Okay.
It's no different because
Okay.
they're topped out. It
No
would be
budget
topped-
impact?
Correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
All right.
Okay. Additional questions, Commissioner Bassett?
I was the one who was asking her
yes.
questions about her rationale for placement and decisions. The person who currently holds the position, who is at what the level is that we're offering, how many years of experience does that person have?
I'm sorry.
The person who's leaving that position,
Oh, she left. She had 19 and a half years here.
19 and a half, okay.
Yeah, she had a vast amount of experience. So the public defender's office is very fortunate
Yeah.
to be getting that kind of experience. So, yeah, I think the fortunate thing about this candidate is he can walk into it. I didn't think I was going to get that. I mean, just because you don't know what you're going to get when we
Yeah.
posted it, but, and Berry County was very fortunate to have this person apply pretty quickly. Like, we haven't had to wait for a person to apply. I was asked whether there were other candidates that applied, not internally, but externally, that may have been qualified. I have studied, some of them are people who have applied before. I have studied those candidates. One of them is not even graduated law school yet, although I give them very much credit for reaching out. And if I was ever going to ask for a paid internship, this person would be a great candidate for that. And then some of the other applications just were not able to walk into this specific position. They weren't able to walk into Jessica's position like this young man.
Okay.
Can I ask another question? So help me understand the level. So it's a level 2, step 4 or something. How does a person go through those levels and define
Well,
that for me?
so in Berry County, a person becomes eligible to be a senior when they've reached the felony level.
Okay.
So he's already reached it a long time ago. But in Berry County, the difference is in Berry County, and I personally, if you want my opinion, this needs to be changed. In the job description, it says 3 to 5 years. That's too high.
Or equivalency.
Pardon? Or equivalency, that's correct. And I think that should probably be changed to over a year, because the public defender, senior public defender, only requires, from what I understand, a year or more. The thing is that it's the boss, it's the leader that decides too when that person's ready. Because you can be in my office a little over a year, and I'm very lucky to have Ally Rouse, who's been in my office a year now, but she's done a Supreme Court brief. Yeah, sometimes people have a skill set that just elevates quickly, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's what might have happened with this candidate, but so so a senior attorney technically would have 3 to 5 years, or they would, or equivalent to 3 to 5 years, and the felony level work. Where the candidate reaches that is he's already done the felonies, he's done some high felonies, and the 3 to 5, it says equivalent. So to me, equivalent is somebody who's done all the things that we do, like legal briefs, legal research, discovery, discovery is giving evidence to the other side. That person's done all that. So I feel like even though we don't have to reinvent the wheel with people who've had 14 years of experience.
Right.
You don't have to reteach them all the lingo in court and what's a brief and how do you do a brief and how do you do legal research. Already knows all that. So that weighs into that level, and that's how I interpret that equivalent portion of that.
Okay, and then the 4 steps, how does that happen? Is that a year? Each step is a
Yes.
year? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. So he's in year 3 right now where he's at, just doing prosecution. He's in year 15, really, if you think about it, if I'm calculating right, as an attorney in general. So he's been doing a lot of the things that we do that may not be, they're criminal and civil. You do them in both criminal and civil court. He's been doing those since 2011. So, the nice thing is, it's really nice to have someone come in that you don't have to explain what a courtroom is and what a defendant is and what a prosecutor, they already know all that stuff. Ally Rouse had that too, because she had done a year in the public defender's office as an intern. So she knew the lingo too. So I don't think you can have I don't think you can compartmentalize that you have to have this, this, and this without looking at the actual specific person's resume as well, which is what I did.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had asked you too about how you equate that. If you have 14 years of experience, how does that go into how many years along the pay scale you go, right?
Yeah, so I look at it like, what did the person do in those 14 years that compares to what they'd be doing today? And this person has a lot of qualities in the work that he's done in the last 14 years that he would be doing here for us. So he's got 3 times more years plus that we would require for some of these skills. As a prosecutor, though, he was able to be placed into the circuit court level, which is the higher level of court, I believe a year ago, at least a year ago. So when he was put into that, he was also given cases that were of a pretty significant level. And that is what qualifies him to walk into not only this position as a senior attorney, but he deserves, in my opinion, some credit for what he's done in the years before he even became a prosecutor. But from a money perspective, there's no more financial difference than what it would have been making. But in addition to that, I don't think he should have to take a pay cut for his skill level. But to get him in that part would be the 4-year.
Yeah.
That's why.
I'm just asking the questions because I want to respect the process and respect other people that are already
Absolutely.
here, that kind of thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
I agree. So, if another person came in that didn't have that skill level, then I would have to consider that.
Additional questions?
No.
So, I think it makes sense. It sounds like we're fortunate to have this gentleman stepping into this role, so. The chair would entertain a motion for approval of the hiring of an assistant prosecutor 2 at the 4-year step due to prior experience, and authorize the county administrator and county board chair to continue discussions on a letter of agreement with the Berry County Courthouse Employees Association for this hire.
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Smelker, support by Hatfield. Any additional discussion? Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Campbell,
Aye.
Getty,
Aye.
Smelker,
Aye.
Tunison,
Aye.
Bassett,
Aye.
Carlton,
Aye.
Hatfield,
Aye.
and Jackson.
Aye. The motion is approved.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We hope we get a chance to meet him sometime soon. You can, when he's on board, so.
Not in court.
Yeah, not in court. Yeah, we don't want to see him in court.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sarah?
Good morning. How are you?
Fantastic, thank you.
Good. Okay, so this morning I am here requesting approval to move forward with the records digitization and preservation project that was previously approved as part of the county's capital improvement plan and budgeted over a 5-year period. Before you today is the proposal dated March 23rd, 2026. And this project will allow us to digitize and preserve vital records and other historical documents that are maintained by the Berry County Clerk's Office, ensuring their long-term protection while improving accessibility for staff and the public. This proposal outlines the preservation and imaging process that will be used to safeguard these records for future generations. On page 10, you will find an overview of the entire imaging and preservation project, including the total project cost. Pages 11 and 12 provide a detailed breakdown of the project components and the associated cost. The project represents a significant investment in preserving some of the county's most important historical records, while also improving operational efficiency and public access to information. Currently, what our records are, they're stored on shelves right now, but we've had an increased amount of requests from individuals wanting genealogical research. So we're getting out those books, looking at them. They're becoming ineligible, like you can't read them. They're falling apart. Pages are coming out. So I had our clerk, our account associate, Clark Yosen from CoFile. He came in back in 2025 when I first took office and went through and gave us. You spent like 2 days in our office going through all of our records, and he looked at them and gave us a price of over $1 million to digitize and index and preserve all of our records. Well, a lot of our records are digitized already and indexed, so I didn't see the need for the project on that big of a scope. So Clark and I worked together and we scaled it down. I think it's like 50, what was it, 58? The total was, sorry, I don't want to misspeak myself, 54,960.88. Over 5 years, it was budgeted for like 58,000. So Clark was able to work with me and we came in under what the 5-year capital request was that was approved in the budget for this project. So Clark is here today to answer any technical questions you may have about how the process works. He has worked in the Register of Deeds office for several projects over the years. And I did talk to a few other county clerks in the state, and they recommended and highly recommended working with CoFile. So I will answer any questions, and Clark can also. Thank you.
My question was just on the item quality, like for 2026, it says item quantity 2. Is that 2 books or is that 2 documents?
It's 2 books.
Okay. That's what I was hoping you'd say.
Yeah, no,
Like,
just.
that's really
it's- yeah.
expensive for 2
Yeah,
documents. but-
Well, the birth books are like this big, so there's several pages, several years in there, so we worked with that. Do you want to kind of explain what you're gonna do? That would help some
Sure. So
information.
if you actually flip the page forward, that would be, there's a full index of what each project would entail for each year. So it lists the book and the price per project for imaging and preservation for each of those by year. So it's broken out. That first chart is more of just a high level overview of what would each would entail. But you'll see some pictures throughout it, similar to the Register of Deeds office. These books are in very poor condition. They're from the mid-1800s. Sarah mentioned that there are pages falling out. They are brittle. Some may be laminated. They have lots of tape on it that's really decaying the page. With the quantity of searchers coming in to look through them, they're only going to get in worse condition moving forward. So our process is to take them off-site to our facility in Dallas. From there, we disbind everything. So if it's sewn, we would unsew each page individually. If it is already loose, we'll just treat it. So we'll go ahead and actually remove any tape, lamination, fix all of the tears with a tissue that would mend it together and is non-acidic. We will scrub each page clean, front and back, and then treat each page as well to remove the acidity from the paper. After that, we put each one into a Mylar pocket and back into a binder. So the Register of Deeds offices are fire and water resistant binders in their shelves now. I think they have around 70 books. We're currently working on a plat project for them at this time too, where we're removing the lamination to then put them back in the cabinet and doing the scanning once that lamination is off. So the overall purpose is just to preserve and protect the record for long-term use. These are permanent records by the state and important to keep in the county.
Fantastic. Questions from commissioners? Commissioner Bassett.
Oh, so, thank you. So this is not a digitization project. You are actually taking the original document
It
and
is both.
cleaning. It's both.
Yes,
Oh,
so
okay.
we will first treat the document, go ahead and clean it, remove all of the tape. And once all of that's off, we'll get a good scan of it. So
Okay,
then you're working with a very good image rather than having the tape come through of what that scan would be.
Okay, I didn't get that part. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So the
Galton.
digitized image, is that stored locally or in the cloud?
We haven't talked about that, how we're gonna store that yet. That's a good question, Mike. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We provide the images back to the clerk's
Mhm.
office, so it's up to them to, decide
they're
how
gonna-
they would like them stored.
Okay. Commissioner Getty?
Are there any like special challenges to these records as opposed to the Register of Deeds? I know we're dealing with similar aged documents.
The only special challenges we ever really come across are lamination. There's lots of different kinds of lamination. I'm more familiar with the kind where you may just go to FedEx and fold it together and it gets heat sealed. It was different 100 years ago of what lamination may have been. So we see different kinds of lamination all across the country. I can't say for certain without going through my notes if these books have lamination or not, but we do test all laminated books and pages before we remove anything. So that would be the only challenge that we would ever come across.
There were not any laminated books in our office.
Oh, yeah. We don't want to lose this information, so it's really important.
Even with lamination, we do a full scan of the page before we actually do the testing, just in case it doesn't come off how we plan. We have had that before with different counties where it just didn't work out. And we've gone through different methods, whether it be using a heat gun, a solution, many different methods of what we have for our conservators, and our conservators are trained. They're working on museum quality items every single day. So we're certified in all of our processes and what we do. So that's really the only step we have that can ever provide some sort of challenge is lamination. We have our fail safes in place so that if for some reason it doesn't work, we can always revert back to the image.
Thank you.
Okay. Additional questions?
So in the future, when somebody comes in to do a search of some nature, will they be working with the physical documents, or will they be working with the digitized versions?
We don't allow public to touch the records.
Okay.
We would allow them to look at that like at the counter, but we don't let them touch the documents just because they're so brittle and frail. I prefer, and the state does actually, the best practice is not to let individuals touch the records, even photo them, because when you have if they have a flash on, that can also start hurting the integrity of the record. So it would just be looking at them. Yes.
But most research would be done off the digitized.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna look at down the road in the future, having a computer in the office for other things other than being able to look at these records. Like if somebody comes in, we have a lot of people coming in wanting to apply for their marriage licenses. And we are right now, if they come in with their, this is kind of off topic, but if they come in right now to apply for their marriage license, we're not making them go back out to their phone or find a computer someplace. We're having them fill out a form or taking their documentation and inputting it for them right now. Some people would like to do that. They didn't know that they were able to do that. So we're looking at putting a computer back in the office where they can use that. So eventually, when we get farther down the process in a couple years, our outlook for the office is to allow that to be accessed, and then they can look at it right there in the office. Good question, Dave. Thank you.
Perfect. And it looks like from what I read that this has already been put into the budget process.
Yes. Eric and I talked about it last year, and when I scaled it back, Eric's like, yeah, we definitely could fit that into a 5-year. When I scaled it back from $1 million to 58,000.
Yeah, $1 million to 58,000. That's a little different. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Any additional questions? The chair would entertain a motion for approval of the proposal from CoFile Technologies, Inc. for the digitation and indexing Berry County Clerk vital records books and indexes as part of the county phased records preservation project.
So, support.
Motion by Getty, support by Tunison. Any additional discussion? Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Getty,
Aye.
Smoker,
Aye.
Tunison,
Aye.
Bassett,
Aye.
Colton,
Aye.
Campbell,
Aye.
Hatfield,
Aye.
Jackson.
Aye. The motion is approved.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah. Eric, we have more vehicles to get rid of, huh?
Yeah, I know you guys like when I do this rather than buy vehicles, so. In the sheriff's department too, so we have 2 Tahoes and an old F-150 that we're requesting permission to dispose of. The Tahoes will go up in our normal advertise. People come and give bids, we open them up and goes to the highest bidder.
per the undersheriff, the F-150 is not even worth doing that, so we'll scrap it.
Okay. So part of the normal process, we're rotating vehicles out, bringing newer vehicles in.
Yep, we would have had another one or two this year, but we replaced them in insurance claims, if you recall.
Right.
So,
Okay. Questions from commissioners?
I'm just curious, the money's used when you liquidate these, does it go back into the vehicle
yes,
replacement fund?
it goes back in the vehicle fund for future purchases.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Smelker?
On the F-150 for scrap, there's no way anybody can buy that and put it on the road then, right?
No, they'll take it right to the, I don't know if they use Patnos or somebody else. What do you use with it?
Yeah, the frame is, rusted through.
I just want to make sure nobody can take it back on the road.
Sale, but then you're gonna have to get a sign that you're not gonna put it on the road.
No, we'll take it and scrap it somewhere specific.
Very good.
Okay. No additional questions. The chair would entertain a motion for approval to dispose of multiple vehicles as identified by staff.
So moved.
Support Campbell.
Motion by Colton, support by Campbell. Any further discussion? Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Smelter,
Aye.
Tennyson,
Aye.
Bassett,
Aye.
Halton,
Aye.
Campbell,
Aye.
Getty,
Aye.
Hatfield,
Aye.
and Jackson.
Aye. The motion is approved. Next up, we have adoption of resolution 26-18 opposing the state preemption of the local zoning authority.
You discussed this a couple of meetings ago. Planning zoning director Jeff Kiesler was up here to discuss his concerns and opposition. Per commissioner's requests, we've drafted this resolution. If approved, we'll be sending it on to the governor, the state senator, state reps for this community, and the committee chairs where it's running through. As my previous life, I was in community development. I wholeheartedly support this effort. We make better decisions on the local level about what's important for our community. I understand there are times where things are necessary, but this is not one of them. So staff recommends adoption of the resolution.
Yeah, and as Commissioner Getty and Commissioner Hatfield have both served on planning and zoning, if you'd like, I'd appreciate your comments, but we do all the work to put in these 5 and 10-year plans and master plans, and we decide where we want things and where we don't want things. And then the state comes in and says, we'll tell you what we think is best, and that doesn't work.
One size does not fit all.
Correct.
I mean, this is a terrible piece of legislation. I think Bill made some very good comments about it during the public comment period that I wholeheartedly endorse. I think one of the things that I find very disappointing is that the Michigan Association of Planners is actually endorsing these efforts. Makes absolutely no sense.
Blew my mind completely.
Other than the fact it's probably going to be handled the same way the materials management initiative is being handled, and the state requires that you go out and hire professionals to help you implement whatever it is they're forcing down our throats. But
Mr. Chair, I'm concerned of the trend. A couple of years ago, took away our right to really regulate over, was it 40 megawatts, some of these solar windmill alternative energy projects, taking that away from us and sent it to the Public Service Commission. And now this reeks of the same thing where the state is coming in and taking control from local.
you know, if you look at the history of this, I think, they are concerned with the shortage of housing. They're concerned with the cost of housing. And they don't like the gentrification that has taken place in many communities. But, what works in Berry County does not work in Kent County, particularly in areas like Ada. and East Grand Rapids. And they are misguided in thinking that they can cram, micro housing, mini housing, into those types of well-established communities. I think that around here, we've done a very good job of providing for accessory dwelling units. I know at least in the city of Hastings, they have opened up the opportunities to build duplexes, to incorporate a mix of 3 and 4 unit dwellings through many areas of the town. But I say again, one size does not fit all.
Exactly.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Townships are there for a reason, right? They set ordinances, and if they have a 1 acre minimum, and all of a sudden you want to shrink that down to half that size and put a 560 square foot house next to a 2,500 square foot house, that's not what it was ever intended for in that subdivision. A lot of subdivisions have rules. There's a minimal size to build here. If you if you can't afford to build there, then you have to move, down the road, someplace that you can. But still, to think that you can put a duplex right in the middle of a subdivision is just craziness, right? Next to homes. There's places for duplexes. There's places for apartments, but not out in townships where townships have a 1 acre minimum, and all of a sudden you want to try to put 2 houses where 1 house should go. What are you going to do about the septics? What are you going to do about the well? What about all the different things, setbacks, everything else? So I'm glad we are doing this to try to send a message. Not that it's gonna go on deaf ears, but we're sending a message from Berry County that this is not something that we agree with. So
exactly.
That, our communities spend so much time providing input to township master plans, to the county master plan, and this is just an affront to all of that investment at the local level. I think there are places where duplexes do go in neighborhoods really well. And I am proud of the municipalities that have passed those, like the city of Hastings and the village of Meadowville. There are places where the local community has made that decision, say that's consistent with the feel of our local neighborhoods. But to mandate these really small lot sizes and say that places in southeast Michigan are similar at all to our rural communities. I just look even across our own county, we have so much diversity in communities. Those decisions should be made at the local level with resident input, and that will not happen if we send it to Lansing.
Exactly. Additional comments? I think we've got a solid document here, and I would like our state reps and our leaders in Lansing to know how we stand on this. So the chair would entertain a motion for adoption of Resolution 26-18, opposing state preemption of local zoning authority through the proposed housing readiness package.
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Hatfield, support by Getty. Additional discussion. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Bassett?
Aye.
Carlton?
Aye.
Campbell?
Aye.
Getty?
Aye.
Smelker?
Aye.
Tunison?
Aye.
Hatfield?
Aye.
And Jackson.
Aye. The motion is approved. Thank you. We'll get that signed and sent off as soon as possible.
Yep.
Item E, which we moved from other business up, is just discussion on our law enforcement facility discussion. Eric and I have been talking about this back and forth for a couple months now, and I think it's time that we just move this forward, at least to get an idea what the next step is. When we had our meeting with the consultant, we had our bigger meeting in November, they had talked about, I think, we had several price tags come out there, but I think where they ultimately fell was somewhere between about 38 and 42 million. And some numbers were higher. We don't like those numbers. We think we need to be closer to 30 million. You know, maybe 30, 32, whatever the case is. To do that, we're going to need some more detail work by our consultant. We're going to need some more detail work by, you know, a planner. My suggestion is at this point, that with board approval, that we at least move it to the next level, which would be sending out RFPs. The consultants identified companies that build jails. There are some companies we worked with locally that have some interest in this. So my suggestion is that we send out the RFP, that we'll probably schedule a special meeting to go over those RFPs and interview different builders, get their inputs, get their thoughts on this, and see what the cost is to do that engineering, that pre-engineering, to see if they can get us to that cost level, to see if that's realistic, see if we got to park this project and rethink it, or what we do with this. So, I mean, that's the point, is right now that we need more detailed information. We're probably gonna have to pay for that information, but let's get some competitive bids out there and get some input from different people who have involved in jails and see what it's actually going to cost us to move this forward. So, thoughts, comments, questions?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I just want to understand better. So are we going to get RFPs for potential construction manager? Or are you talking from different businesses that do the construction?
I don't know, Eric.
Construction manager.
Yeah, I mean, they're construction managers, but they contract out. I mean, Granger and these companies that build jails, you know, so they'll have their representatives in there to it. So I'm assuming these are the people we're sending the RFP to, people.
Yeah,
involved in.
so typically, if you recall, like the COA process, you hired a firm, a design firm that went through, designed the whole project, worked with the construction managers, you interviewed them, picked one, they did all the bidding to all the subs. So similar to this, what the suggestion would be, if we bring a construction manager on board, in a small contract with our current consultants, take it to the point where we have a concept right now that's, say, the $40 to $45 million range. If we truly say 30 to 35 is where we need to be, well, that's where we would bring a construction manager on board. They would work with Evan Marsh to make the project work at that size. So when you came out of it, so basically you would be doing some of your design work before you issue the full package. So it's a pre-design. It's money you would have to spend anyways. You're just spending it now instead of later. And the idea is that when we come out of it, we can say to the community, this project, we're confident is we can do a project of this amount for this size building, which meets our needs. Or if they come back and say, yeah, it's truly a $37, $39 million project, you know that. Now there are ways that, you know, we can cut size here, cut size there, reuse part of the building, which we really don't want to do. But, you know, those are the things we may have to do, and that's all part of this next process.
So there's no investment as far as the RFP goes. We're sending them out, we're gonna do interviews with construction managers, and then we'll see what their bid price is to do the pre-engineering work for us, to see if they can get us in that goal range where we want to be, in that 30, 32, $35 million range. So there's no expense in sending out an RFP.
Just
Mr. Bassett.
Just a little bit of time.
I was going to say, yeah, that was my first question. Then my second question is, are you going to put in the RFP what our goal is? That our goal is to find a construction manager who has a plan, a workable, good plan in that 30 to 35 range, or is that not part of the RFP?
I think the plan is to, you know, identify construction managers out there. One, this is our goal, is to make a project of this size. You, as a construction manager working with our design folks, have to make those changes to the project scope, the project size, to get to that level. You know, you bring your experience to the table saying, hey, we know we can cut a little bit here, a little bit there. So we're getting that work done ahead of time rather than after. it's bid. And I know that working with Frederick, for example, I know during the COA project, they did some after changes. We want to do that now, so before we go into the project, and we know our scope. And there are firms out there that do jails primarily. There are people who do a little bit of everything. It's a construction manager. You know, we will have probably 4, 5, 6 companies interested. And you'd interview them and then pick one, and they would work with Abbott and Marsh to come with that final plan to get us moving forward. Or get us to the point where, are you comfortable moving forward with that number?
So if they come in with the cost that the pre-engineering work is going to be X, then that'll be part of the consideration as we decide which construction manager firm we go with. So that's the next step. And there'll be some time involved because I'm assuming if we send this out, they're going to need 3 to 4 weeks.
So if you tell me today to get it out, we will get something out by next Friday at the latest, probably try to this week. So I'm guessing the first August meeting is when you would have your interviews.
Okay.
Possibly the 2nd July, just depends. It's July 28th, so that's possible.
Okay.
One of those 2 meetings.
And likely a special meeting to do that, so.
Well, if we do a special meeting, then we can do it the first Tuesday in August or whenever.
Okay. Additional questions? Does that make sense to everybody as far as just the process and the next steps? Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
at what point in time do we involve the public?
Yes. Well, let's get a construction manager on board and get some feel for what the cost is going to be. We've already talked about a citizen committee and people who are interested in leading that, and doing some work with us on that. So, but right now we still don't have a price. We haven't decided a location. There's a lot of things that we need to do before we get, I think, an active community organization or citizen group involved in that. But that's certainly one of the next steps as we solidify this with the construction manager and get a price involved in it. You need a price before you can have a plan. We got to figure out how we're going to pay for it. So, and until we have a price, we can't really put a plan together on how we're going to pay for it. So,
I think the key is if you look at where it's at now and, debt service requirements, so, if it's $3 million a year, at the, $50 million, $45 to $50 million, which is where our current scope is, we know that number. That's a big number. And what's that look like for, how you pay for it? Now, if we're saying, look, we think we need to be closer to 30, 32, you're probably looking at about a $2 million a year debt service, maybe $2.3 million a year. Still a lot of money.
I think we all can sit here and say that we can't afford $45-50 million.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well,
So
yeah.
we need to be down there in that range, one way or another. We've got to get down closer to 30 million, I think.
and that's what the construction manager and the pre-engineering work will help us define, whether we can realistically hit that and still get the
Provide
building
what
that
we
we
need.
need for the future. Is there consensus to move ahead with an RFP? Do we need a vote on that? There's no expense to it.
No, if
So-
you're just directing me to do that, that's
Okay.
fine.
Okay. Okay,
We'll get it out the door.
all right. Thank you. Unfinished business, we have none. New business, we have none. County Administrators Report?
Reminder, next Friday, July 3rd, the courthouses and courts and law, all county buildings are closed in honor of July 4th. I would like just, my staff, they're doing a great job right now tackling, this is probably the worst time of year for our staff. We're closing out the previous year, audits due next week. We've got budget came out. Tammy, her first day on the job, she jumped right into the budget. We were 2 days late in getting it out, which I thought was impressive considering all the work that needed to get to from when she started to getting it out. So they're doing a great job. Barb has really jumped in on the software project for our payroll software. So we're progressing on that. We should have our first core module go live in the next 2 weeks with NeoGov. It's going to be the core HR background of it, backbone. So we're running through some internal review and process right now. So hopefully we'll be able to show you something in the near future on that. There's a lot going on right now, but we are committed to, departments have until July 2nd to get their budgets submitted to administration. And then we'll spend the month of July working with them on their plans, their requests, before you see something in August. So a lot going on at the county right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Chairperson's report, I am all set. Vice Chairperson's report.
The Hastings City, Rutland Township Joint Planning Commission met last week and approved the site plan for Myers, along with some other accompanying resolutions that have now been forwarded back to the city. They had a first reading, the city had a first reading on their ordinance last night. Rutland has the first reading tomorrow night, so the Meyer project continues to move ahead.
Any potential stumbling blocks with that, or is at this point, is it all pretty much a done deal with it?
I think every additional step that's taken is a step in the right direction and makes it that much more likely that it will be completed.
Perfect. Thank you.
You know, things can always.
Been a long
happen.
process.
It's been a long process and things can always happen. I should point out that Jake and the Road Commission were helpful in that process because one of the Joint Planning Commission's major concerns was the traffic impact on Tanner Lake Road. It's unfortunate in a way that the street address of Myers will be Tanner Lake. However, the primary entrances and exits are on 37 and 40 and 43. There are a couple of driveways on Tanner Lake, but they are going to be restricted in how you can enter and exit through those. And those restrictions will certainly minimize the amount of traffic that goes on to Tanner Lake and Heath Road. So
Especially truck traffic, I'm assuming.
actually, truck traffic will not go that way. That will be pedestrian, or not pedestrian, but private automobile. The truck entrances and exits will be on both highways. And there will be a new traffic signal at Tanner Lake Road, which will help that ease the flow, you know, both in and out. But the primary drives are 37 and 43.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Part of that site plan approval or outdoor businesses. There are also in the site plan, three potential outlots that Meyer will own. There are no indications at this point what businesses may end up going on those or what time frame, but they're at least incorporated in the site plan.
Okay, thank you. Good update. Commissioner Campbell.
I visited the Baltimore Township last week and also visited Johnstown, who is they're continuing to put the final touches on their beautiful playground facility and park facility out there. And they're also putting on a new roof, as they've had many problems with the old one. Tomorrow, Wednesday, I'll be at Thornapple and DHS, and that's what I have going.
Perfect. Commissioner Tennyson?
I'm kind of at the end of the cycle, so I really don't have anything.
Commissioner Smelker?
I attended 911 and transit meeting yesterday, and I believe we have dawn patrol this coming Saturday, don't we?
Yeah.
And that's from 7 to 11. So if you like pancakes.
At the airport.
Airport.
At the airport.
Pancakes and sunrise?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Commissioner Getty?
I have Village Minnville tonight.
Commissioner Bassett?
I attended the Region 3B Commission on Aging meeting. Hadn't been there in a while, so that was good. At the Gun Lake Improvement Board meeting, there are some questions that we have. Eric's aware of them, Tammy's aware of them, about some of the financial reports, and mostly it seems to be where journal entries are and how they're made and that kind of thing. So our board has asked if Kelly could either attend the meeting or come virtually or something to help us understand that a little bit better and try to get that cleaned up. So I will be contacting her to do that. And then Prairieville meeting, took us a couple of meetings, but they have decided to add an officer to their force so that they'll be pretty close to having full coverage in Prairieville Township for police. So that was quite a big move and quite a big budget. That will go on for sure. It depends on timing, but they'd like to get a millage to support that on an ongoing basis. But knowing what they're changing with zoning, with short-term rentals and some other issues that they're having, go ahead and go for that. So that was good. Tonight I have Conservation District. I get to see more of Danielle. And then the next couple of weeks, a variety of things. I do want to make you aware that at the rural conference that I attended a few weeks ago, I attended a session on TIF, and we met some people there, and I'm working with some folks in the county to put together some educational efforts on TIF to educate our board, to educate the community, townships, everything about how do TIFs work, how can we, I'll say, use them, or how they can be helpful to us in our planning efforts. So I'm working on that. We're having some preliminary meetings now to organize those efforts, and you'll hear more about that later.
Good. Was there any detailed discussion on short-term rentals in Prairieville Township? Had they done anything with that yet? Is that a hot topic, or is that still moving through planning?
It's a hot topic, and it's still moving through planning. But one of the things they're doing, actually, they looked at Yankee Springs as one of the models, and they are going to assess fees, and that actually has been a little contentious because, what are the amounts of the fees that are going to be charged? So a lot of public comment on that.
Okay.
But yeah, they're getting nearer to a decision of what's going to be in the provisions for their township.
Lots of townships with eyes on that to see where it's going, because there's lots of lakes in Berry County with a lot of VRBOs.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. Commissioner Hatfield.
Well, hey, related to that and the bigger issue of the whole update on our zoning code, the county planning committee commission did hold a public hearing last night on the current draft of the update. We did have some questions on the short-term rental issue. But the way the code is being revised, that is a township, that responsibility is clearly the township's. In order to assist the townships, Jim McManus, who has been working with the Planning Commission as their consultant on the revisions of the code, has put together kind of an outline of how a township might want to address those. We're getting that out to all of the townships, but it's theirs to do with as they see fit. And I think at this point there is uncertainty as to whether or not that's going to fall to the county or to the townships. This will clarify that it is the township's responsibility. Townships may choose to want to contract with the county for certain enforcement activities, but again, that will be up to the township to decide and then to negotiate with the county. We had there are some questions on how last night's meeting was conducted and noticed. I have talked with Eric, and he is reviewing that. I think the original hope was that there would be a referral of the new draft document to us to review, but there are some significant remaining issues that need to be discussed, and I think that it will probably end up staying with the Planning Commission for another month or two, particularly the whole issue of data centers is causing, there's a lot of uncertainty out there. There's a lot of debate about what the environmental impacts are, impact on electrical consumption, water consumption, what noise issues are being created, and we need to do some additional research on that before those things can be finalized and the recommendations can be finalized. I don't think that it's really fair for the Planning Commission to give you a document that is incomplete and indicate that there will be modifications necessary in the near term. I'd rather we take the time to make sure that it's as complete a document as it can possibly be. So we'll continue to review the process and the timeline for that.
Yeah, and in Prairieville, they did vote for a moratorium on the data centers. And they had language from their attorney to do that.
Yes, which I think is certainly one way that that can be addressed. On the other hand, if that becomes a widespread trend, I think that we may well see the state try to deal with data centers in the same way that they're dealing with solar and wind, and that is a very, very poor solution. But if the state would also concur that a moratorium is in order, I think that that would allow for a lot of the uncertainties to be addressed. As things are emerging, both the electric and water issues, I think, are becoming somewhat clearer. But the biggest issue potentially is noise pollution, and particularly the I'm not going to use the right terms, but the very low decibel, the bass drum, impact is considerably greater than what has ever been recognized before. I think some of the current studies are showing that you could have a very negative impact from those sound levels up to 2 miles away from a center. So it's not the 100 feet, 300 feet, 500 feet that is more commonly talked about. So a lot of research to do, and I find a new article every day to read. So, and I don't know who to believe.
There's a lot of information.
Even as a University of Michigan graduate, I look at some of their published materials and scratch my head.
Just related to that, I know the county, I was at a meeting last week of colleagues in the region, and Kalamazoo County was putting on a workshop that was neutral because they have a lot of proposed data centers down in their area and various aspects of various parts of the county. And they were having experts come in and they were going to video it, and I'd offered to share it. So I will send that around to Planning Commission and other interested parties when I get the copy of it.
Okay,
that'd be great. Thank you. Limited public comment at this time. Any member of the public wishing to address the board may do so for up to 3 minutes.
Hello again. I think the location is going to make a difference. If you don't have a location, it's gonna cost you more to have that plan put out there because you're actually asking for 2 different plans. So I think you need to consider that. I did attend the planning meeting last night. I do appreciate Commissioner Hatfield's comments and stuff. My biggest concern last night was, they couldn't get in to hold a meeting, so they held a meeting on the steps. Your agenda said it would be in the community room, so The agenda was approved as a review of draft zoning ordinance, and they tried to hold a public hearing on it. So there's other reasons that really needs to be done, and I'm not even sure if that meeting last night could count. It was good information. I think it was low frequency. Was that the right word?
Thank you. That's what I was, that was the term I was searching for.
Yeah, and that was, concern and stuff. So I said, that was, some things that I had seen. On your meeting today, you passed Resolution 2618, and you're talking about the state. Well, everybody here on this commission ran as Republicans. You have a state statutory obligation or duty to the Berry County Republican Party, which helps you. Even, you may have had some hurt feelings, but it goes both ways at times and stuff. So it's important that you work with your party. It's an election year. If you don't like what the state is doing, you need to come and help get people elected in the Republican Party, because we need to take over the governorship, we need to take over the Senate, and we need to keep the House and then put good people in there. So your executive committee meeting is this Thursday. I think everybody should be there because you said you're Republicans and you have a mandated seat at that executive committee. So look at that. I said, I think we had only 3 of the many Berry County elected officials at last month's meeting. So, but you're, I don't know, you have a duty to the party that you ran with or ran on. So consider that. As I said, they're elected precinct delegates on there. So they also have that on there. So I think it's really important to consider that. It's a big election year at the state and federal level. We need to work together, and we're not going to agree all the time. But some things we can agree on. We don't like what's going on in Lansing. We don't want to lose what's going on at the federal government, as if you're a Republican. So I hope to see all your smiling faces there coming up on Thursday. Saturday, once again, we're having the American Pride celebration, 250-year celebration. Please come and help us out. Thank you.
Thank you. Additional public comment? Hearing none, other business, we have none. Commissioner comments, Commissioner Bassett?
We do have a revitalized Dalton community meeting tomorrow night with ice cream in the park. And we have a couple new businesses to introduce and just a lot going on in the community. Our Pocket Park, I'm really happy to report. We need to raise $24,750. We've raised over $15,000 and we're not even halfway through. And so we have less than $10,000 to raise. We're just so much support from our community. It's been phenomenal. So we'll be supporting that tomorrow night, but also talking about all the other up and coming things that are happening in Berry County. Another thing to note is that I've started to work with some local folks and I've had conversations with Jake as well. I'm working with the Chamber of Commerce, Economic Development folks to possibly write a grant for safe routes to school. And that would allow us to put sidewalks to go from Stepping Stones development to our school so that the students who live in our new housing development could walk to school. So got momentum going on that. We have some consultants that we are engaging to help us write that grant. It's long-term. It's not 2026. It's really more 2027, 2028. And we had conversations with Jake, so he's on board because it's just sidewalks, not roads.
Okay. Commissioner Colton?
I have nothing.
Commissioner Getty?
Nope.
Commissioner Smelter? Commissioner Tunison?
I just want to mention Rutland Township with the Myers project. And I think Myers did too. And it's the focal point is everything away from the subdivision that's to the north of there. And all the residents were very concerned about lighting shining in their houses and the traffic and everything else. And I just wanted to mention that. I know you wouldn't mention it, but I thought I'd mention it.
Commissioner Campbell?
I just want to extend an invitation to everyone to come out and have a big happy birthday for our country, 250 years at the VFW. And the other will be helping and giving away several bicycles that have been donated to the community. It's a great way to take a look and take a deep breath and say, wow, we've come a long way. We're a great country. We will continue to be a great country. And what better place to have it than at a VFW? So I hope you've been here for 4 hours. So thank you.
Commissioner Hatfield.
I have nothing,
Okay. I am all set as well.
other than to thank Bob for the,
No, we will have the next week or so off, so enjoy the 4th of July safely and celebrate, hopefully, at the VFW there. We'll look forward to seeing you guys there. We got our new microphone, so thanks to our administration and IT crew for putting these together, and hopefully the sound is coming through loud and clear for everybody, so.